Galaxy Council declares war. Humanity replies, "Is that all you've got?" Alex had always believed that humans were ordinary, that they were strong in ways that the galaxy would never understand. But today, something unusual was happening. The Galaxy Council had spoken. They had declared war on humanity. The message had arrived hours ago. A calm, formal announcement broadcast across every star system. The Council's representatives, beings of different shapes and sizes, spoke in unison, their words sharp and confident. "Humanity is a minor threat," they said. "Their societies are fragile, their fleets are small, and their technologies are primitive. We declare war upon them. Resistance is meaningless." Alex listened carefully, reading the message over and over. His face remained calm, but inside his mind raced. Most humans would panic at such news. Most humans would see fleets of alien ships arriving in orbit and imagine the end of their world. But not Alex. He had seen humans adapt in ways that even aliens could not predict. He had seen ordinary people do extraordinary things. Beside him, Lisa Morin, an analyst with a sharp mind and quick wit, tapped at her tablet. She was younger than Alex, but her instincts were excellent. "They don't understand us," she said softly. "They think war is about fear, but humans are different." "They learn from everything," Alex nodded. "They think this is going to be easy. They think we will surrender or beg. They have no idea." The Council's message continued, describing the terms of war. They demanded immediate surrender, the dismantling of human fleets, and the handing over of key technologies. They threatened destruction of major cities if humanity did not comply. The words were harsh, precise, and designed to intimidate. But on Earth, reactions were mixed. Governments called emergency meetings, military leaders assessed fleets and weapons, and citizens worried about the unknown. Alex and Lisa, however, focused on one thing: preparation. They knew that fear would not win this war. Understanding would. The first reports came in the night. Small alien reconnaissance ships entered human space, moving slowly, deliberately. Their shapes were strange, sleek, and glowing. Each ship broadcasted messages in multiple languages, but none were human. They demanded compliance, repeating the Council's warnings. Ben Taylor, a Navy officer, was the first to spot them. He watched from the bridge of the flagship, his hands steady on the controls. "They think we will run," he said to his crew. "They think we will panic." His crew exchanged glances. Some were nervous, others excited. They had trained for emergencies, but nothing like this. Nothing like an entire galaxy declaring war. In Washington, the president addressed the world. His voice was calm, measured, but firm. He did not speak of surrender or fear. He spoke of resilience, of unity, of the human spirit. "We do not know what these aliens will do," he said, "but we do know what we are capable of. We will adapt. We will survive. And we will meet their challenge as humans always have, together." Back on the observation deck, Alex and Lisa continued their work. They examined every transmission, every detail of the alien fleet. They noticed patterns. The aliens attacked slowly, carefully, and with predictable routines. Lisa pointed out that their weapons were strong but not creative. "They do everything by the book," she said. "They don't improvise. We can use that." Alex smiled faintly. "And humans are masters of improvisation. They will learn fast, faster than anyone expects." The first encounter happened days later. An alien vessel entered orbit above a major city. It hovered silently, glowing with pale light. Military ships approached, but the alien vessel did not fire immediately. Instead, it broadcasted a message demanding surrender. In New York, the citizens watched from the streets, staring up at the sky. Fear was present, yes, but also curiosity. Humans had faced many dangers before: natural disasters, wars, plagues. They had survived. And now, faced with a threat from the stars, they felt something familiar: the will to fight, to live, to adapt. Ben Taylor received the order to engage, but he hesitated. His instincts told him that attacking immediately was not the best choice. Instead, he used human ships to create a careful perimeter, testing the alien defenses. The alien vessel responded with precise movements, but it never expected humans to adapt so quickly. Alex and Lisa watched the battle from a command center far away. They saw every move, every strategy unfold. Humans did not panic. Humans did not flee. Instead, they observed, learned, and adapted. Lisa whispered, "They have no idea how fast we learn. No idea how unpredictable we can be." As the days passed, small victories began to appear. Humans intercepted alien communications, understanding codes and signals faster than the Council had anticipated. Civilians contributed, offering insights, making small innovations that had large impacts. Factories that once produced mundane goods were now building parts for human ships. Engineers like Emma Parker worked around the clock, turning everyday technology into defensive tools. Even children contributed in unexpected ways. Ryan Cole, a young boy fascinated by alien tech, noticed a pattern in the alien ship's movements. His observations, simple as they were, helped adjust human strategies in orbit. Adults marveled at the insight, realizing that humanity's strength lay in its people, in every mind willing to think, to try, to challenge. The Galaxy Council grew frustrated. Their attacks were failing. Their messages of intimidation were ignored. In their chambers, representatives argued bitterly. Some suggested more force, others suggested patience. None understood that humans were not like any species they had ever encountered. Fear did not break humans, control did not bend them. Humans adapted, and they did so faster than anyone could anticipate. Alex Carter prepared a formal response to the Council. He did not write words of surrender or apology. He wrote a simple, almost casual message. "Is that all you've got?" The message, though brief, carried the weight of human confidence. Lisa smiled as it was sent. The words were not meant to mock, but to show clarity. Humans were not afraid, humans were ready. In the weeks that followed, humans worked tirelessly. Fleets were reinforced, communication lines strengthened, and strategies developed for every possible scenario. Ben Taylor led patrols in orbit, noticing the alien ships still following predictable patterns. Kate Wilson, a historian and strategist, analyzed the Council's past campaigns, finding weaknesses in how they dealt with adaptable species. Every human contribution, from the youngest child to the most senior officer, mattered, and the aliens noticed. Small reports came back to the Council chambers. Humans were not panicking, humans were not fleeing, humans were learning. Whispers spread, they adapt too fast. They think too differently. They may be weak physically, but their minds are strong in ways we did not anticipate. Alex watched the stars at night, thinking about the days ahead. The war had only begun, but humanity was ready. Humans had survived catastrophes before. They had adapted to impossible challenges, and now they faced the Galaxy Council. The difference was simple. Humans did not fight like others. They learned, they improvised, they endured. The first part of the war was not about battles or weapons. It was about observation, preparation, and understanding. Humans were quiet, calm, and patient. They did not need to strike first. They only needed to survive long enough to show the galaxy their strength. And that strength was already showing. The alien fleets continued to move into human space, their ships sleek and strange, glowing softly in the darkness. They were careful, following routines and patterns, sending messages of warning, trying to intimidate. The Galaxy Council expected humans to panic. They expected chaos. But humans were not like that. Humans observed, humans learned, and humans adapted. Ben Taylor commanded the human fleet as it moved to intercept the first wave of alien ships. He stood on the bridge of the flagship, his eyes fixed on the dark sky ahead. The alien vessels moved slowly, cautiously, as if expecting an easy victory. Ben knew better. He had studied the reports, watched the transmissions, and analyzed the enemy. The aliens were strong, yes, but they were predictable, and humans had a different kind of strength, creativity. "Keep formation," Ben said quietly. His crew responded immediately, adjusting positions, checking systems, preparing for anything. "Watch their movement patterns, note every change. We learn fast, they don't." In the command center on Earth, Alex Carter and Lisa Morin monitored the first encounter. The humans were careful, testing the alien forces without taking unnecessary risks. Lisa pointed to a pattern on her tablet. "They move slowly when they think we are weak. If we act differently, they hesitate. Watch what happens next." A human frigate moved toward the alien vessel, not to attack, but to observe. The alien ship scanned it, fired a warning pulse, and adjusted its position. Human sensors recorded every movement, every emission. Engineers worked in real time to predict the alien responses. Small adjustments were made to shields, weapons, and communications. It was a slow dance, a test, but humans learned faster than the aliens expected. On the streets of New York, people watched the sky. Children pointed at the glowing ships, while adults checked emergency systems and supplies. Fear was there, but so was determination. Humans had survived disasters before. They had rebuilt after storms, fires, and wars. Now they faced beings from another world, and humans were ready to do what they always did: endure, adapt, and act together. The first skirmish was brief. The alien ships fired pulses meant to disable human vessels. Some systems failed, but the humans had anticipated it. Automated repairs began immediately. Engineers like Emma Parker worked quickly, adapting systems on the fly. Civilian drones were repurposed as scouts, delivering data back to Fleet Command. Every small action counted. Ben Taylor watched the alien response carefully. They were frustrated. Humans did not retreat. Humans did not panic. Every action by the aliens was met with calm observation and adaptation. The Council's plan to intimidate was failing. They had assumed humans would fear overwhelming force. They had assumed humans would follow old rules of surrender. They had assumed wrong. Back on Earth, Kate Wilson studied alien history and war tactics. She noted that many species in the galaxy fought with strict rules, following long-standing traditions. Improvisation was rare. Humans, on the other hand, thrived on improvisation. Kate explained, "We have to act like the aliens expect. Then we change the rules. They will not see it coming." Alex Carter nodded. "We do not need to destroy them yet. We only need to show them we are unpredictable." As the days passed, small victories accumulated. Human scouts discovered weak points in alien shields, gaps in their communications, and predictable patterns in their flight paths. Civilians contributed ideas. Engineers tested new weapons and defenses, often adapting everyday technology for the battlefield. Every citizen played a part, whether working in factories, analyzing data, or simply offering observations. Humans were united by necessity, each action building toward a larger understanding. Ryan Cole, the young boy who had first noticed alien movement patterns, continued to assist remotely. His insights were simple yet effective. One suggestion led to a small tactical advantage, allowing human ships to evade an alien trap. Adults marveled at the clarity of his thinking. It reminded them that human strength was not only in experience or technology, but in imagination. The alien commanders grew frustrated. They could not understand why humans were not panicking. They could not understand why humans were learning faster than expected. One fleet commander sent an urgent message back to the Council. "They are different. They adapt quickly. They do not fear. Our tactics fail." In response, the Council debated. Some called for increased force, while others urged patience. They underestimated the humans' ability to observe and adapt in real time. Their plans relied on fear and control, but humans did not bend easily. Humans had survived worse with fewer resources, and they always found a way to endure. In orbit above another city, the alien fleet tried a more aggressive tactic. They fired pulses designed to disable human ships and infrastructure. Human sensors recorded every shot. Defensive systems activated automatically. Human engineers adjusted shields and weapons mid-battle. The aliens were strong, but they could not anticipate human creativity. Ben Taylor led a small team of ships in a careful countermove. They did not attack the aliens directly. Instead, they tested their response, noting weaknesses and patterns. The humans were learning faster than the aliens could adapt. One ship feigned a retreat, luring an alien vessel into a trap where electromagnetic interference disrupted its systems. The aliens had never seen such tactics. They were confused, unable to respond efficiently. On Earth, Lisa Morin analyzed the data and shared it with Alex. "Every time they try to force fear, humans respond in ways they do not expect. We are showing them we are different. We are showing them that fear does not control us." Alex smiled. "They thought this war would be easy. They thought humans would panic. Now they are beginning to see that humans are unpredictable." Meanwhile, civilians continued to contribute in unexpected ways. In small towns and cities, people worked to ensure that supply lines were ready. Factories that once produced mundane items were now producing components for defense and communications. Schools shared ideas for emergency management. Ordinary people were extraordinary in their willingness to act, to adapt, to survive. Emma Parker, working in a converted factory, led a team to modify drones for battlefield scouting. "We have to be ready for anything," she said. "They will strike where we least expect it, so we have to see it first." Her team worked day and night, converting machines and software to give humans an advantage. The work was exhausting but necessary. Every small improvement made a difference. Across the globe, humans began to understand that this was not a conventional war. The aliens expected straightforward battles, rigid strategies, and immediate surrender. Humans responded with flexibility, observation, and ingenuity. They did not fight like the aliens. They fought like humans, learning and adapting in real time. The Council noticed the change in reports. The aliens' attacks were no longer producing fear. Humans were surviving, learning, and preparing. The phrase, "Is that all you've got?" began circulating quietly among human fleets. It became a silent signal of confidence, a recognition that fear and intimidation had no power over humans. Alex Carter prepared another communication to the Council. This time it was not words of threat or apology. It was calm, direct, and simple. Humans were ready. Humans would continue to learn. Humans would endure. The message was brief, but its meaning was clear. Humanity did not fear war. Humanity thrived in it. As the days turned into weeks, the alien fleets continued to test human defenses. They tried new strategies, faster attacks, and stronger pulses. Each time, humans responded calmly, adjusted, and learned. Civilians contributed ideas. Engineers adapted technology. Young minds noticed patterns the elders missed. Humans were united by observation, preparation, and creativity. Ben Taylor reflected on the unfolding events. Humans had faced impossible odds before and survived. They had adapted to natural disasters, wars, and pandemics. Now they faced an entirely new challenge, a galaxy-wide force that expected submission. Humans would not submit. Humans would survive. Humans would learn. Kate Wilson observed the aliens' rigid strategies and smiled quietly. They expect fear, but we do not give it to them. We are strong in ways they cannot measure. We adapt. We endure. And they will learn just as we have learned about them. The first real human counterattack was careful and deliberate. Ships did not aim to destroy, only to test weaknesses and gather information. Alien defenses faltered in unexpected ways, showing cracks that humans could exploit. The Council realized that humans were not only surviving, they were teaching themselves to fight better with each passing day. Alex Carter looked at the data streaming in. He thought about the weeks ahead. The Council had declared war, expecting weakness. They had found strength, adaptability, and unity. Humans were ready to respond to the challenge, not with panic, not with surrender, but with calm observation and careful action. The galaxy had declared war on humanity. The humans were listening, learning, and preparing. And the Council was about to find that humans were far stronger than they had imagined after weeks of observing the alien fleets. Humans were ready to act. The first encounters had shown that the aliens were predictable, slow to adapt, and overconfident. Humans did not rush blindly into battle. Instead, they prepared, planned, and learned from every movement of the enemy. Alex Carter and Lisa Morin coordinated the efforts from the main command center. They analyzed every report, every transmission, every change in alien patterns. Ben Taylor stood on the bridge of the human flagship, staring at the approaching alien fleet. The ships were larger than before, more aggressive, and their formation tighter. But humans were ready. Ships were positioned in layers, shields reinforced, weapons calibrated. Engineers had modified civilian drones for reconnaissance and defense. Every system was tested, every crew member trained for multiple scenarios. "Remember," Ben said quietly, "we are not here to destroy yet. We are here to show them humans are different. Every move we make, every response, teaches us and teaches them that we are not weak." The alien fleet fired first, a series of energy pulses designed to disable human ships quickly. The pulses struck, but human shields absorbed most of the damage. Engineers adjusted in real time, repairing systems as they failed. The aliens expected panic, but humans acted with calm precision. Ryan Cole, now 15, monitored alien movement patterns from a remote station. He noticed small changes, tiny inconsistencies in their flight paths. He shared the data immediately with Ben Taylor's fleet. The information allowed the humans to anticipate the aliens' next moves. A simple adjustment in trajectory allowed several ships to avoid heavy damage. Emma Parker worked with her team to adapt civilian tools into battlefield technology. Sensors designed for weather monitoring were repurposed to detect alien energy fluctuations. Delivery drones became mobile scanners, providing real-time intelligence to human commanders. Small innovations made a large difference, multiplying the effectiveness of the fleet. The first human strike was carefully planned. A small squadron moved toward an alien command hub, not to destroy it, but to disable key systems temporarily. They used electromagnetic pulses and electronic interference, designed to confuse alien communications and sensors. The aliens fired back, but human ships were agile, constantly changing speed and direction to avoid predictable patterns. Kate Wilson observed from Earth. She had studied alien tactics extensively and now applied that knowledge in real time. She instructed human commanders to exploit the aliens' overconfidence. "They do not expect unconventional tactics," she said. "Use it. Force them to react to you, not the other way around." The humans executed the plan flawlessly. The alien hub went offline for several hours, communications disrupted. The aliens scrambled to respond, but their reactions were slow and rigid. They expected fear, confusion, or surrender. Instead, they met calculation, observation, and precision. Human fleets adapted with each movement, learning from every mistake and every success. In the cities below, civilians watched the sky. Energy pulses illuminated the atmosphere, but humans were not panicking. Families checked supplies, emergency services coordinated with military units, and engineers continued to work on systems to protect the population. People shared data and observations through secure channels, contributing to the collective effort. Every human mind counted. Ben Taylor led another strike in orbit. This time, they targeted alien supply lines. Small ships disrupted energy transfers, disabled minor vessels, and created confusion without causing mass destruction. The goal was not to annihilate, but to show capability. Humans were not just defending, they were teaching the aliens a new lesson. Humans did not fight by conventional rules. Humans fought by learning, adapting, and improvising. Alex Carter sent updates to the Council, messages short and confident. Humans are observing. Humans are learning. Humans are adapting. The words were simple, but they carried weight. The Council members received the messages with shock and anger. They had assumed humans would panic under pressure. They had assumed humans would act predictably. They had assumed wrong. Noah Price, a diplomat assigned to neutral species, monitored their reactions. Reports indicated that many other civilizations were watching humans with interest. Humans did not strike for conquest or domination. Humans struck to test, to learn, to adapt. Even alien populations began to doubt their leaders' ability to control humans. In the field, Ben Taylor and his crew continued to refine tactics. They learned to use minimal resources for maximum effect. A single squadron could disable multiple alien vessels by exploiting timing, angle, and energy patterns. Each action was recorded, analyzed, and shared with other human units. Adaptability multiplied with each encounter. Ryan Cole noticed that the aliens relied heavily on predictable scanning patterns. He suggested small changes in fleet movement to exploit that predictability. Ben implemented the suggestions. Results were immediate. Alien scans failed to detect key maneuvers, giving humans a tactical edge. Even young minds contributed to victory, proving the strength of human diversity and creativity. Emma Parker introduced another innovation, remote-controlled craft that could mimic human ships. The aliens would target them, wasting resources while actual human fleets moved undetected. The plan worked. Alien sensors and defenses were confused repeatedly, allowing humans to strike without retaliation. As the human offensive continued, alien fleets became frustrated. Commanders reported to the Council that humans were unpredictable, adaptable, and quick to learn. Their strategies failed repeatedly. One alien leader whispered, "We cannot control them. We do not understand them." Kate Wilson compiled patterns of alien behavior, predicting movements days in advance. Her insights allowed human commanders to position fleets strategically, avoiding unnecessary battles while maximizing impact. Alex Carter noted that humans were not fighting recklessly. They were fighting intelligently, carefully, and collectively. In another city, civilians continued to support the war effort. Factories converted to produce defense equipment, software engineers developed adaptive systems, and medical teams prepared for emergencies. Every citizen played a part, showing that human strength was not limited to the battlefield. Adaptability was a trait of the entire population. The Council grew increasingly desperate. They ordered stronger attacks, more aggressive maneuvers, and direct confrontations. Each attempt failed. Humans learned, adapted, and responded with calm precision. Alien fleets were slowed not by raw force but by strategy, observation, and creativity. Humans were rewriting the rules of engagement. Alex Carter sent another brief message to the Council. "Is that all you've got?" It was simple, almost casual, yet devastating in meaning. Humans were not afraid. Humans were capable. Humans were ready. The message spread quickly among human fleets, becoming a symbol of unity and confidence. It reminded everyone that the war was not about fear. It was about endurance, learning, and adaptability. Ben Taylor led a coordinated strike on another alien fleet. This time, they targeted key engines and control systems without destroying the vessels. The goal was to teach the aliens a lesson. Humans could strike decisively, but with control. Alien ships struggled to respond, their rigidity making them vulnerable to unconventional maneuvers. Emma Parker adapted new drones for electronic disruption, creating false signals to confuse alien targeting. The aliens were forced to adjust constantly, never able to predict human actions. Ryan Cole and other young analysts observed patterns and suggested adjustments, further increasing human efficiency. Every mind contributed, every idea counted. Kate Wilson noted that the aliens were beginning to doubt themselves. Confidence gave way to hesitation. Speed gave way to careful observation. Humans had turned fear into learning, chaos into planning, and unpredictability into advantage. The Council had assumed humans would panic. Humans had proved them wrong. In cities across the world, humans continued to live their lives while contributing to the war effort. The distinction was clear. Humans did not surrender their lives to fear. They used their time, their knowledge, and their creativity to survive and adapt. This collective resilience was invisible to the aliens, but decisive in battle. Ben Taylor coordinated a strike that disrupted alien communications for nearly an entire day. Human ships moved silently through gaps, disabling key systems without direct confrontation. The aliens could not understand how humans learned so fast, how they improvised at every turn. Even when under pressure, humans maintained calm and focus. Alex Carter watched reports with quiet satisfaction. Humans were no longer just defending. Humans were controlling the pace of the conflict. They were not reckless, but they were bold. The aliens were forced to react, adapt, and learn just as humans had done. In the council chambers, representatives argued bitterly. Some suggested retreat, others stronger attacks. Confusion spread. The council had assumed humans were weak, simple, and predictable. The reality was different. Humans adapted faster than any species they had ever encountered. Humans survived by learning, by thinking, by acting collectively. As Part 3 of the war ended, humans had achieved several objectives. They had demonstrated that they could survive alien attacks, disable key systems, and strike with precision. They had shown adaptability, creativity, and unity. Civilians contributed ideas, engineers adapted tools, young minds noticed patterns, and commanders executed strategies intelligently. Humans were no longer just defenders. They were a force the galaxy could not ignore. Alex Carter sent another message to the Council, short and clear. Humans learn fast, humans survive, humans adapt. The message was not a threat, only truth. The aliens understood that humans were not like other species. Fear and intimidation would not work. Humans would continue to adapt, learn, and endure. Ben Taylor looked at his fleet, ready for the next challenge. He knew the war was far from over, but humans had found their strength: observation, adaptation, and unity. Humans had learned the first lessons of the Galaxy Council, and the Council had learned, painfully, that humans were not to be underestimated. The humans had proven they could adapt and strike effectively, but the war was far from over. The alien fleets were larger now, more aggressive, and the Council demanded faster results. Alien leaders assumed that humans would panic under pressure, but they were about to learn that humans were not only strong in battle, they were creative, careful, and united. Ben Taylor commanded a large group of ships patrolling a sector near a civilian colony. The aliens had attempted to attack, hoping to force surrender, but humans anticipated the move. Ben positioned his ships to protect the colony while using small squads to monitor alien movements. The humans did not attack aggressively. Instead, they observed, gathered data, and prepared to respond efficiently. Emma Parker coordinated with engineers across multiple cities to reinforce defenses. Sensors and drones were positioned to detect alien ships early, and energy shields were upgraded to handle heavier attacks. She adapted civilian systems into tactical devices, creating redundancies that allowed humans to survive even when alien weapons struck unexpectedly. In the colony below, civilians were calm but alert. Children played in the streets, adults checked emergency systems, and volunteers moved supplies where needed. Humans did not panic. They prepared. They adapted. They were used to facing dangers, and this was no different, only bigger and stranger. Ryan Cole and other young analysts monitored the alien fleet's signals. He noticed that they were becoming less coordinated, more hesitant. Humans were forcing the aliens to react rather than act. Each small victory of observation and adaptation gave humans confidence and the aliens doubt. Ben Taylor received reports of a small alien force attempting to attack a nearby city. Instead of rushing in blindly, he positioned his ships to contain the attack while gathering intelligence. The aliens fired energy pulses, trying to break human defenses. Human shields absorbed the impact, and small drones provided detailed feedback in real time. The humans adapted immediately, moving ships to protect critical areas while creating gaps for counteractions. Alex Carter observed from the main command center. He noted that humans were not only surviving, they were teaching the aliens a lesson. The humans' goal was not destruction, but control and understanding. Each action, each maneuver, forced the aliens to reveal weaknesses and patterns. Kate Wilson studied the aliens' responses and suggested a bold plan. Humans would conduct a controlled strike to disable an alien command hub while simultaneously evacuating civilians in another sector. The idea was to show precision, efficiency, and humanity at the same time. Ben Taylor executed the plan. A squadron moved to disable the hub, using minimal force but maximum strategy. Drones disrupted communications, while small craft targeted engines and sensors without destroying the vessels. The hub went offline temporarily, causing confusion among the alien forces. At the same time, transport ships evacuated civilians from the threatened city. Families were moved safely to secure areas, guided by local volunteers and fleet personnel. Emma Parker coordinated the rescue from her station. She adapted transport drones to carry supplies and guide civilians quickly. Human efficiency was unmatched. While the aliens fired blindly, the humans saved lives and demonstrated control, skill, and foresight. Ryan Cole noticed that the aliens' scanning patterns had become slower and more predictable. He suggested adjustments to human fleet positions, allowing more precise control of the battlefield. Ben Taylor followed the suggestions, and the results were immediate. Alien attacks failed to hit critical targets, and civilians remained safe. The aliens were growing frustrated. Their attacks caused minimal disruption, and humans were responding faster and smarter than they expected. Some alien commanders suggested retreat, but the Council demanded more aggression. Humans had turned the war into a test of adaptation and patience, and the aliens were losing. Alex Carter sent a brief message to the Council. Humans protect their own. Humans learn fast. Humans adapt. Is that all you have? The message was simple, but it carried a weight the Council had not anticipated. It spread quickly through human forces, strengthening morale and unity. Across multiple sectors, humans continued small, precise strikes. Supply lines were disrupted, communications intercepted, and minor alien vessels disabled. No civilian or critical infrastructure was harmed. Humans had learned that force without intelligence was wasteful, and they valued precision over destruction. Ben Taylor led another mission to monitor alien movements near a mining colony. The aliens attempted a sudden strike, but humans anticipated it. Ships moved into position, drones relayed data, and defenses were adjusted mid-battle. The aliens fired heavily, but human tactics minimized damage. Civilians were guided to shelters, and engineers repaired minor damage immediately. The humans' calm, coordinated actions frustrated the aliens further. Emma Parker introduced another innovation: small automated craft that could mimic human ships. Aliens targeted the decoys, wasting energy and ammunition, while real human vessels moved undetected. The tactic created confusion, showing once more that humans did not fight like others. Humans fought with creativity, intelligence, and observation. Ryan Cole noticed small patterns in alien communication signals. He shared the data, allowing fleet commanders to predict the next attacks. Alien movements were no longer surprises but opportunities. Humans adapted in real time, turning every attempt by the aliens into a learning experience. In cities across the globe, civilians continued to play a crucial role. Engineers repaired damaged infrastructure, medical teams prepared for emergencies, and volunteers coordinated evacuations and supplies. Humans were united by necessity and determination. Their collective effort made survival possible and reinforced the humans' advantage in the war. Kate Wilson continued to analyze alien tactics, finding weaknesses in their chain of command. Human squads exploited these weaknesses with careful strikes, disabling key vessels without unnecessary violence. Each success forced the aliens to slow their attacks and rethink their strategy. Humans controlled the battlefield without overextending themselves. Alex Carter observed the results and smiled. Humans were no longer just defenders. They were strategic, precise, and unpredictable. Each action demonstrated that humans could protect civilians, gather intelligence, and strike effectively without panic. The aliens were forced to react constantly, revealing vulnerabilities at every step. Ben Taylor received a report from a nearby sector. A civilian ship had been threatened by alien patrols. Instead of waiting for orders, he led a rapid response team, using stealth and precision to rescue the crew. The mission was a success. Civilians were safe, and alien forces were confused. The humans' speed, intelligence, and coordination had become their greatest weapons. Emma Parker adapted sensors to detect alien energy fluctuations before attacks, giving humans critical extra seconds to adjust. She explained to her team, "Every second counts. We observe, we adapt, and we respond faster than they can act." Her innovations saved countless lives and increased fleet efficiency. Ryan Cole tracked alien signals and noticed hesitation. The aliens were learning slowly that humans did not fear them. They could attack, but humans would not panic. They could strike, but humans would adapt. The Galaxy Council had assumed humans were weak, but the truth was clear. Humans were strong in ways the aliens could not measure. In the alien council chambers, representatives argued bitterly. Some suggested retreat, but pride and fear of appearing weak prevented them from ordering it. Humans had turned the war into a lesson in adaptability, observation, and unity. The council had assumed fear would control humanity. It had not. Humans were learning faster, adapting faster, and responding smarter. Ben Taylor led a combined mission to secure multiple colonies. Small human squads moved strategically, protecting civilians, gathering intelligence, and disrupting alien supply lines. The aliens fired heavily but could not coordinate effectively. Human fleets adapted instantly, learning from every attack and responding with precision. Alex Carter sent a final message for the day. Humans save their own, humans learn, humans adapt. Every move teaches us more, every strike teaches them less. Is that all you have? The council received the message in silence. They had not anticipated this level of intelligence, adaptation, and coordination. Humans had turned the war into a battle of minds, not just weapons. As night fell on Earth, humans reflected on the day's events. Cities were safe, fleets were ready, and civilians had contributed in countless ways. Humans had survived attacks, protected lives, and demonstrated intelligence and unity. Across the galaxy, stories spread of humans calmly walking through battle zones, rescuing civilians and striking with precision. Humans were becoming respected and feared, not for their weapons alone, but for their ability to adapt and survive. Ben Taylor looked at the stars, thinking about the days ahead. The aliens had assumed weakness, but humans had shown strength. They had turned observation into advantage, learning into action, and unity into survival. The war was far from over, but humans had proven one undeniable truth. They were not to be underestimated. Alex Carter smiled quietly. The humans had survived the first major phase of the war. They had saved lives, gathered intelligence, and shown the galaxy their strength. The council had expected fear and submission, but humans had given neither. They had shown something else: resilience, intelligence, and the will to endure. The humans' reply was clear, not in words alone, but in every action they took. Humanity was not afraid. Humanity would survive. Humanity would adapt. And the galaxy was only beginning to understand what that meant. The humans had survived countless attacks, adapted to alien tactics, and learned faster than any species in the galaxy could imagine. The Council's fleets were larger, stronger, and more aggressive than before, yet humans continued to outthink, outmaneuver, and endure. Alex Carter observed the stars from the command center, calm but alert. The war had reached a point where humans were no longer just defending, they were in control. Ben Taylor prepared his fleet for the next engagement. Reports indicated multiple alien squadrons moving toward human sectors, hoping to overwhelm defenses. The aliens expected fear and chaos. They expected surrender. But humans had learned the Council's mistakes. Humans were ready. Emma Parker worked quickly, coordinating engineers and programmers. Drones were upgraded, sensors recalibrated, and fleet communications reinforced. She adapted every civilian system possible for battlefield advantage. "We do not just survive," she said. "We prepare, we adapt, and we act." Her team worked day and night, ensuring humans had the edge at every turn. Ryan Cole monitored alien movement patterns and noticed hesitation. The aliens were reacting, not acting. Every previous encounter had taught them that humans were unpredictable, fast learners, and capable of precision strikes. Ryan shared his findings immediately with Ben Taylor. "They are confused," he said. "We can use that." Ben smiled. "Then we will." He issued commands to position the fleet in a formation designed for flexibility. Ships moved in layers with small squads ready to exploit every weakness. The humans were calm, focused, and prepared. Every crew member knew their role. Every action was coordinated. Humans had turned the war into a battle of intelligence, adaptability, and endurance. In orbit above a major city, the first alien squadrons appeared. They fired pulses intended to disable human defenses. Shields absorbed most of the energy, while automated repair systems handled minor damage. Small human craft moved unpredictably, confusing alien targeting systems. The aliens expected panic. They found precision. Alex Carter monitored the battle closely. He coordinated strategies across multiple sectors. Civilians contributed as well, sending reports, observations, and suggestions that proved invaluable. Engineers repaired damaged infrastructure and adapted new technologies. Every human mind, young and old, played a role in the unfolding strategy. Kate Wilson analyzed alien behavior, noting their increasing reliance on predictable routines. She advised Ben Taylor to exploit these patterns with coordinated strikes. Human squads disabled alien supply lines and communications, not to destroy, but to show control. Each action reinforced the humans' advantage. The aliens were forced to react constantly, unable to take initiative. Noah Price coordinated with neutral species, offering support and protection to those caught in the conflict. Many were inspired by humans' calm and effective response. Reports reached the Council. Humans were not reckless, but precise, intelligent, and united. Their reputation grew across the galaxy, inspiring hope in some and fear in others. Ben Taylor's fleet executed a carefully planned maneuver. Small human ships disabled key alien engines without destroying the vessels, creating confusion in their formation. Drones delivered intelligence in real time, allowing human ships to strike efficiently. Civilians were protected, damage minimized, and humans controlled the battlefield without panic or unnecessary destruction. Emma Parker introduced another innovation: small craft that mimicked human ships' energy signatures. Aliens targeted the decoys repeatedly, wasting resources while real ships moved undetected. The tactic was simple but effective, creating constant frustration for alien commanders. Humans had learned that clever adaptation often outweighed raw strength. Ryan Cole noticed small changes in alien communication signals. The aliens were attempting coordination, but delays and hesitation revealed cracks in their strategy. Humans exploited these cracks, disabling command vessels temporarily and forcing alien squadrons into confusion. Every engagement reinforced human strength and adaptability. In cities across Earth, people continued to contribute. Engineers repaired minor damage, medical teams cared for civilians, and volunteers coordinated evacuation routes and supplies. Humans had learned that survival was not only about weapons, but about coordination, planning, and community. Every effort made the humans stronger and the aliens weaker. Ben Taylor received a report of a civilian ship threatened in deep space. Without hesitation, he led a rapid response team to rescue the crew. They moved stealthily, avoided detection, and disabled pursuing alien ships temporarily. Civilians were safe, and the aliens were once again frustrated by humans' unpredictability. Alex Carter observed the unfolding events and smiled quietly. Humans were no longer just defending. Humans had taken control of the pace of the conflict. Every move, every action, and every decision was carefully planned, executed, and adapted to the circumstances. The aliens were forced to react, revealing vulnerabilities the humans could exploit further. Kate Wilson noted that the Council's pride was now their weakness. They assumed humans would fear, panic, or surrender. Humans had done none of these things. Humans had survived attacks, adapted to alien tactics, and learned faster than any species expected. Their calm and intelligence had become a weapon more powerful than energy pulses or massive fleets. Emma Parker coordinated with her team to prepare a decisive strike. Not for destruction, but to disable the main alien fleet temporarily, forcing the Council to reconsider their actions. Small human squads would strike at key systems while protecting civilians, maintaining control without overextending. The plan was risky, but humans were ready. They had learned from every previous encounter. Ryan Cole monitored alien communication again. "They are panicking," he said. "Their coordination is failing. We can strike now." Ben Taylor led the strike carefully. Human ships moved in perfect coordination. Drones disrupted alien systems, disabled engines, and confused sensors. Alien fleets attempted to retaliate, but humans were faster, smarter, and more adaptable. Civilians were guided to safe zones, and every move reinforced human control. In the council chambers, representatives argued bitterly. Some suggested retreat, but pride and fear of losing face prevented them from acting. Reports showed alien fleets in disarray, unable to maintain formation or strategy. Humans had forced them into constant reaction, revealing weaknesses at every turn. The council was losing. Alex Carter sent a final message to the council. "Humans protect their own, humans learn, humans adapt, we endure." "Is that all you have?" The words were simple but carried the weight of every human action, every saved life, and every tactical victory. The council received the message in silence, realizing for the first time that humans were not weak, predictable, or fearful. Humans were strong in ways they could not measure. Across the galaxy, neutral species took notice. Humans had not attacked without reason, nor had they sought domination. Instead, humans had acted with intelligence, precision, and unity. Stories spread of humans calmly walking through battle zones, rescuing civilians, and striking with control. Fear of humans began to replace fear of destruction alone. Humans had won respect and a reputation across the stars. Ben Taylor observed the remaining alien squadrons retreating. Their energy pulses became disorganized, their maneuvers slower and less coordinated. Humans had taken control without unnecessary destruction. Civilians were safe, and fleets were intact. Humans had won a decisive advantage. Emma Parker and her team continued to monitor and adapt. Every civilian, engineer, and volunteer contributed to maintaining the edge. Humans had learned that survival depended not just on weapons, but on intelligence, planning, and unity. Each citizen's effort had helped turn the tide of the war. Ryan Cole noted that the aliens were hesitant to re-engage. Humans had demonstrated mastery over observation, adaptation, and precision. The Council could not predict human moves. Humans had become a species that could not be intimidated. Their resilience and intelligence had created a force the galaxy could not ignore. Alex Carter prepared to address the Council directly. He spoke calmly, representing humanity not as conquerors, but as survivors who had proven their strength. "This war has shown one truth," he said. "Humans adapt, humans endure, humans protect life. The Council has learned that humans are not weak, they cannot be intimidated. They will survive, they will learn, and they will endure. Peace is wiser than continued war." The Council hesitated, then withdrew their declaration of war. Alien fleets returned to their own territories and communication lines were restored. Humans had not only survived, but had forced the Galaxy Council to recognize their strength. The war ended not with complete destruction, but with respect, caution, and understanding. On Earth, celebrations were quiet but heartfelt. People had contributed in countless ways, from engineers and analysts to volunteers and children. Humanity had faced a threat larger than anything before and had survived, adapted, and endured. The lesson was clear. Humans were not only strong but resilient, intelligent, and united. Ben Taylor reflected on the battles. Humans had not relied on brute force alone. They had relied on observation, creativity, and coordination. Each decision, each adaptation, and each life saved had contributed to the victory. Humans had rewritten the rules of engagement and shown the galaxy what it meant to endure. Emma Parker smiled as she watched engineers repairing and improving systems. Civilians worked together with military teams. Humans had learned that strength was not only in weapons but in people, cooperation, and intelligence. The galaxy would remember this. Humans had survived, adapted, and endured. Alex Carter looked out at the stars one last time. Humans had faced the Galaxy Council and survived. They had protected their own, learned from every challenge, and adapted faster than anyone expected. The galaxy had underestimated them, but humans had proven one simple truth: they were not weak. They were strong, resilient, and unstoppable when united. The Council would remember humanity not as a minor threat, but as a species that could survive, adapt, and endure against impossible odds. The humans had one: respect, fear, and a place in the galaxy that no one would underestimate again. Humanity had survived war, protected life, and adapted beyond expectation. The galaxy had learned that humans were not just capable of survival, they were capable of greatness. And in that moment, humanity had answered the Galaxy Council once and for all. Is that all you've got?